The Unjoined Aspect portals in E7S are a mechanic best described as simplicity disguised as complexity. It combines the Light's Course portals with the Unjoined Aspect mechanic where players must be hit by the opposite color. There are many options for handling this mechanic, but we'll be focusing on a method that keeps things as simple as possible. Unjoined Aspect will give tanks and healers one color, while the DPS players will have the other. The two beams towards the center of the arena will always be opposite colors, and shoot into the red and blue portals along the south edge of the arena. This red portal always spawns left facing north, with the blue portal always spawning right facing north. After identifying their colors, players should stack in the opposite colored beams to take their first hit. Each hit from Light's Course will swap the player's debuff color. Next, players identify the color of the portal their beam went into along the southern edge. Red is always left and blue is always right, so if you keep this in mind, you won't need to actually look at the portals to check. In the next step, you'll go to the opposite color portal. After taking their first hit, players move to the northeast corner of the arena. The next set of blasts will spawn from the east side of the arena, always from the same pattern of portals. If your first beam went into the blue portal, you'll want to stand on the north end of the arena in the top rightmost square, which is always a red portal. If your beam went into the red portal, you'll want to stand in the square one position south of the other players, which is always a blue portal. While positioning for the second blast, inspect the portals that have spawned along the north edge of the arena, specifically the one on the right. Notice whether it's red or blue, as this determines how we position for the rest of the mechanic. If the north portal on the right is blue, the mechanic is remarkably easy from here. After taking the second hit, players will dodge west one square to bait AoE puddles. As soon as these telegraphs go out, players move back into position in the east squares. They stack up for healing while the third blasts resolve, followed by the black and white AoE circles, being careful not to overlap with the other color group. After one final blast that players remain in place for, the mechanic is resolved. If the north edge portal on the right is red, you'll get the slightly less optimal sequence that is largely similar to the other. After taking the second hit, players will dodge west one square to bait AoE puddles. As soon as these telegraphs go out, players move back into position in front of the opposite color portal. This means you are switching positions with the other color group on the way back in. Players stack for healing while the third blasts and black-white AoEs resolve, before switching positions one last time with the other group. The fourth and final blast goes out and the mechanic is resolved. The key sequence to remember is: go to the opposite color, go northeast to the opposite portal, check the two northeastern portals. If they match, then you swap between blasts, and if they don't match, then you don't swap. And remember to bait the circle AoEs after the second Light's Course, and you're set. Once you've wrapped your head around the patterns of this mechanic, it's incredibly easy to call, requiring little practice for groups to pick up and find themselves in the correct positions. I hope this has been a clearly communicated primer, and I'm always interested in feedback on how videos like this can be more informative and comprehensible, or what other mechanics you'd like to see covered. Stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next one.